You think you're completely healthy right now. Or have you ever experienced a mild headache or slight chest discomfort and simply told yourself, it's nothing, it'll go away? Every single day, thousands of people around the world lose their lives suddenly within minutes or hours, even though they had no known long-term illness. Many people believe these sudden deaths happen without any warning, but the truth is different. Your body almost always sends warning signals before a life-threatening emergency occurs. Unfortunately, most of us ignore those signals or dismiss them as unimportant. Hello everyone, and welcome to Health Eco, your trusted source for reliable and easy to understand health information. We're delighted to have you here. Today, we're going to discuss some of the most dangerous medical emergencies that often remain hidden until it's almost too late. If you ever experience unusual pain, sudden shortness of breath, dizziness, or any symptom that feels different from normal, don't simply assume it will disappear. Seek medical attention immediately. Ignoring your body's warning signs could put your life at risk. Since Health Eco is a new channel, your support means everything to us. Please like this video and share it with your family and friends. By sharing this information, you could help someone recognize a life-threatening condition early and seek treatment before it's too late. Together, we can help save lives. In today's video, we'll count down 5 major medical emergencies that can lead to sudden death, from the least common to the most dangerous. You'll learn the hidden warning signs your body may give you, understand what's happening inside the body, and discover what actions can save a life. Stay with us until the very end. You won't want to miss this important information. Coming in at number 5 is anaphylaxis, a severe and life-threatening allergic reaction. When most people hear the word allergy, they think of nothing more than a skin rash, sneezing, or itchy eyes. But during anaphylaxis, what happens inside your body is nothing less than an all-out emergency. So why does your body suddenly release powerful chemicals when it encounters something new? And what exactly is happening inside your body during those critical moments? Let's break it down in simple terms. Your immune system is like your country's defense force. Its main job is to protect you from harmful invaders such as bacteria, viruses, and other dangerous organisms. However, in some people, the immune system receives the wrong message, a false alarm. For example, peanuts, bee stings, certain foods, or medications such as penicillin are completely harmless to most people. But in someone with a severe allergy, the immune system mistakes these harmless substances for deadly enemies. During the first exposure, the body produces special antibodies called IgE antibodies. These antibodies attach themselves to immune cells known as mast cells, where they remain on standby, waiting for the next encounter. The real danger begins the second time that allergen enters the body. Within seconds, the allergen attaches to those IgE antibodies, triggering the mast cells to explode like tiny biological bombs. They rapidly release massive amounts of powerful chemicals, including histamine and leukotrienes, into the bloodstream. These chemicals can cause 3 major life-threatening reactions. First, a sudden drop in blood pressure. The blood vessels suddenly become extremely wide and leaky. Fluid escapes from the bloodstream into surrounding tissues, causing blood pressure to drop dramatically. As a result, the brain and heart no longer receive enough blood and oxygen. The person may suddenly feel dizzy, collapse, or lose consciousness. Second, airway tightening. These same chemicals travel to the lungs, where they cause the muscles surrounding the airways to tighten. At the same time, the lining of the airways becomes swollen and thick mucus is produced. Trying to breathe now feels like attempting to inhale through a tiny drinking straw. Third, severe swelling. Fluid leaking from the blood vessels causes rapid swelling of the lips, tongue, throat, and surrounding tissues. If the throat swells enough, it can completely block the airway, preventing air from reaching the lungs. Without immediate treatment, this can quickly become fatal. This is why epinephrine is the first and most important emergency treatment for anaphylaxis. Epinephrine quickly narrows the widened blood vessels, helping blood pressure return to normal. It also relaxes the muscles around the airways, allowing the person to breathe again within minutes. In summary, anaphylaxis is a severe allergic reaction caused by an overactive immune response. Although it can become life-threatening within minutes, prompt treatment with epinephrine and immediate emergency medical care can save a person's life. Coming in at number 4 is a silent but extremely dangerous condition that many people know very little about: pulmonary embolism, or PE. Surprisingly, this condition usually doesn't begin in the lungs. In most cases, it starts deep inside the veins of the legs, where a blood clot forms. This is known as deep vein thrombosis. As long as the clot remains in the leg, it may cause pain, swelling, warmth, or redness. However, the real danger begins when part of that clot breaks loose. The clot travels through the bloodstream, passes through the heart, and eventually becomes trapped inside one of the major arteries of the lungs. Once the artery is blocked, blood can no longer reach part of the lung to pick up oxygen. Even though you're breathing normally, oxygen cannot enter the bloodstream effectively because the blood flow has been blocked. At the same time, the right side of the heart has to work much harder to push blood through the blocked artery. If the clot is large, the heart may suddenly fail, and the person can collapse within minutes. Warning signs you should never ignore. Pulmonary embolism often appears suddenly. The most common symptoms include sudden shortness of breath without an obvious cause, sharp chest pain that becomes worse when taking a deep breath, a rapid heartbeat, coughing, sometimes with blood-stained sputum, dizziness, fainting, or feeling as though you might pass out, swelling, pain, warmth, or redness in one leg, especially the calf. Who is at higher risk? Some people are more likely to develop dangerous blood clots than others. These include people who sit for long periods during long-distance flights, bus journeys, or car trips without moving their legs, patients who have recently undergone major surgery and remain in bed for an extended period, pregnant women and women who take estrogen-containing birth control pills or hormone replacement therapy, people with cancer, smokers, individuals who are overweight or obese, people with a previous history of blood clots or inherited clotting disorders. How can you reduce your risk? Fortunately, there are simple steps that can significantly lower your risk of developing a pulmonary embolism. If you're traveling for several hours, stand up and walk around every 1 to 2 hours whenever possible. While sitting, regularly move and stretch your legs and ankles. Stay well hydrated, maintain a healthy weight, avoid smoking, and follow your doctor's advice after surgery. In high-risk patients, blood-thinning medication may also be prescribed to prevent dangerous clots from forming. Remember, a pulmonary embolism is a true medical emergency. If you or someone around you suddenly develops unexplained shortness of breath, severe chest pain, coughing up blood, or collapses unexpectedly, seek emergency medical care immediately. Acting quickly can save a life. Now we're moving into the top 3 most dangerous conditions on our list. Coming in at number 3 is a hidden killer known as a ruptured aneurysm. Think of your arteries as strong, flexible rubber hoses that carry blood throughout your body. Every second, blood flows through these vessels under pressure. However, years of high blood pressure, smoking, aging, or an inherited weakness can gradually weaken part of an artery wall. As that weakened area is constantly pushed by blood pressure, it begins to bulge outward like a balloon. This bulge is called an aneurysm. The frightening part is that most aneurysms cause no symptoms at all until they suddenly rupture. When an aneurysm bursts, massive internal bleeding can occur within seconds. Depending on where it happens, the results can be catastrophic. The 2 most common locations are the brain and the body's largest artery, the aorta. A ruptured brain aneurysm. When a brain aneurysm ruptures, blood suddenly leaks into the space surrounding the brain. This causes a life-threatening condition known as a subarachnoid hemorrhage. The classic warning sign is a thunderclap headache, a headache so sudden and so severe that many patients describe it as the worst headache of my life. Unlike a normal headache, the pain reaches maximum intensity within just a few seconds. Other warning signs may include a stiff neck, extreme sensitivity to light, severe nausea and vomiting, double vision or blurred vision, confusion or loss of consciousness, seizures in some patients. These symptoms should never be ignored. They require immediate emergency medical attention. An aneurysm can also develop in the aorta, the main artery that carries blood from the heart to the rest of the body. If the aorta ruptures, severe internal bleeding occurs very quickly. People often describe the pain as sudden, tearing, or stabbing. The pain may be felt in the chest, abdomen, back, or between the shoulder blades, depending on where the rupture occurs. The person may also become pale, sweaty, dizzy, or collapse because of the rapid loss of blood. Remember, if someone experiences the worst sudden headache of their life, or develops sudden tearing chest, back, or abdominal pain, Do not wait to see if it improves. Call emergency medical services immediately. Early treatment can mean the difference between life and death. Coming in at number 2 is one of the world's leading causes of death and long-term disability, stroke, also known as a brain attack. A stroke occurs when the blood supply to part of the brain is suddenly interrupted. There are two main types of stroke. The first is ischemic stroke, which accounts for about 87% of all strokes. It happens when a blood clot or fatty plaque blocks an artery supplying the brain. The second is hemorrhagic stroke, which occurs when a blood vessel in the brain bursts, causing bleeding into the surrounding brain tissue. Although these two types have different causes, they both have the same devastating result. Brain cells are deprived of oxygen and nutrients. Brain cells are extremely sensitive. Without oxygen and glucose, they begin to die within just a few minutes. As more brain cells die, the part of the body controlled by that area of the brain stops functioning properly. This is why every minute matters. Doctors often say, time is brain. The faster a person receives treatment, the greater the chance of survival and recovery. How to recognize a stroke? Remember the word fast. The easiest way to recognize a stroke is by using the FAST test. F. Face. Ask the person to smile. Does one side of the face droop? Does the mouth appear uneven? Even a slight facial droop can be an important warning sign. Arms. Ask the person to raise both arms. If one arm drifts downward or cannot be lifted at all, it could indicate weakness caused by a stroke. S. Speech. Ask the person to repeat a simple sentence. Is the speech slurred? Are they struggling to find the right words? Do they seem confused or unable to understand what you're saying? These are all possible signs of a stroke. T. Time. If you notice any one of these warning signs, don't wait. Call emergency medical services or take the person to the nearest hospital immediately. Every minute without treatment means more brain cells are permanently lost. We've now reached number 1. The most dangerous condition on our list and one of the leading causes of sudden death worldwide. Although many people use these terms interchangeably, a heart attack and sudden cardiac arrest are not the same condition. A heart attack occurs when one or more of the coronary arteries, the blood vessels that supply oxygen-rich blood to the heart muscle, become blocked. Sudden cardiac arrest, on the other hand, occurs when the heart's electrical system suddenly malfunctions, causing the heart to stop beating effectively. A severe heart attack can trigger sudden cardiac arrest, which is why both conditions are medical emergencies. What happens during a heart attack? Your heart is an incredibly powerful muscle that works non-stop, pumping blood every second of every day. To keep beating, it needs a constant supply of oxygen delivered through the coronary arteries. Over many years, unhealthy eating habits, smoking, high cholesterol, diabetes, and high blood pressure can cause fatty deposits, known as plaque, to build up inside these arteries. Most of the time, this narrowing develops silently without causing symptoms. The real danger begins when one of these plaques suddenly ruptures. Your body immediately forms a blood clot to repair the rupture. Unfortunately, that clot can completely block the artery. Once the artery is blocked, oxygen can no longer reach part of the heart muscle. Within minutes, the affected heart muscle begins to die. This is called a myocardial infarction, commonly known as a heart attack. Unlike many other tissues in the body, damaged heart muscle cannot regenerate. Once those muscle cells die, they are permanently lost. The warning signs. The most common symptom is severe chest pain or pressure. Many people describe it as a heavy weight sitting on the chest, tightness or squeezing, crushing pressure, burning discomfort that doesn't go away. The pain may spread to the left arm, both arms, the shoulders, neck, jaw, or upper back. Other warning signs include shortness of breath, cold sweating, nausea or vomiting, dizziness or lightheadedness, extreme fatigue, feeling that something is terribly wrong. It's important to remember that women, older adults, and people with diabetes may experience less typical symptoms, such as unusual fatigue, indigestion, nausea, or discomfort in the jaw or back rather than severe chest pain. As the heart muscle loses oxygen, its electrical system can become unstable. Instead of beating in a normal rhythm, the heart may begin to quiver or beat chaotically. When this happens, it can no longer pump blood to the brain or the rest of the body. The person suddenly collapses. They become unconscious. Normal breathing stops or becomes abnormal gasping. Without immediate treatment, death can occur within minutes. What happens if no immediate help is available? Without emergency treatment, within 5 to 10 seconds, blood flow to the brain stops, and the person loses consciousness. Within about 10 seconds, normal breathing stops or is replaced by abnormal gasping. Within 3 to 5 minutes, brain cells begin to suffer irreversible damage due to lack of oxygen. Within approximately 10 minutes, survival becomes extremely unlikely without rapid resuscitation. What should you do? If someone develops symptoms of a heart attack, call emergency medical services immediately. Do not wait to see if the pain goes away. If the person suddenly collapses, is unresponsive, and is not breathing normally, begin CPR immediately if you are trained to do so, and use an automated external defibrillator as soon as one is available. Early CPR and rapid defibrillation dramatically improve the chances of survival. Remember, every second counts. The faster treatment begins, the more heart muscle can be saved, and the greater the chance of saving a life. Dear viewers, the purpose of today's video was not to frighten you, but to help you become more aware of your body's warning signs and to know when to seek medical attention. The 5 conditions we've discussed today, anaphylaxis, pulmonary embolism, ruptured aneurysm, stroke, and heart attack with sudden cardiac arrest, can all become life-threatening within minutes. However, recognizing the warning signs early and acting quickly can save lives. The good news is that many of these emergencies are preventable. Scientific studies have shown that healthy lifestyle choices and regular medical checkups can dramatically reduce your risk. Here are some simple but powerful steps you can take to protect yourself. Have your blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol levels checked regularly, even if you feel completely healthy. Never ignore new or unusual symptoms, such as severe chest pain, sudden shortness of breath, sudden weakness, dizziness, or the worst headache you've ever experienced. Eat a balanced, heart-healthy diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean protein. Exercise for at least 30 minutes on most days of the week. Avoid smoking and limit alcohol consumption. Maintain a healthy body weight. Learn basic first aid and CPR. You may one day save the life of someone you love. Remember, your body often whispers before it screams. Listen to those warning signs. Acting early could save your life, or someone else's. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and share it with your family and friends. A simple share could help someone recognize a life-threatening emergency before it's too late. We'd also love to hear from you. Have you or someone you know ever experienced one of these medical emergencies? Share your thoughts or personal experiences in the comments below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Health Eco and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest evidence-based health videos. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, stay healthy, and we'll see you in our next video. Until next time, goodbye.